Cincinnati Bengals, and it's coming up next on Madden NFL 25.
We're back for Game 15 of Round 1. It looks like the Rams should win this game because they got a tight end named George Kittle. The Bengals lost Jamar Chase, and they also lost quarterback Joe Burrow to free agency. Will Levis is here. Well, if the Rams lose this game, it's like it's an insult because they had, I believe, the better team right now. Let's see who's going to beat them Bengals.
A beautiful sunny afternoon, and we are underway from Cincinnati. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
I tell you what, when he's on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
Well, let's see how he does here with a new team.
Levis will look to throw on the first play from scrimmage.
And that's a good play, a great pass.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A good start offensively. 15 yards on the game's initial play.
What a start here to the ball game. You get the good kick.
T. Higgins has become the man here.
If this defense isn't careful, they might be looking at a deficit before they know what hit them.
But don't be too thrilled about that if you are the Rams.
That's complete. He finds Jaden Reed. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
The Rams should have this game offensively. They should be better than the Bengals. The Bengals does not have a good defense.
Now Levis. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete.
The Bengals, however, won last season in the first round.
It's third down.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and get some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
If they don't get the first, this is a big deal for the Rams. But it's not a big deal right there. First down for the Rams.
Enough to move the chains.
That's a tremendous group effort there because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1.
They're driving down the field.
Levis back to throw. Open man is Yoshibas. Following the play now, they're going to stop the clock here as a man shake it up.
If you look at what the Rams did last season, they only played one game. They lost it. This one-game elimination, they were done. They lost at home to Seattle, 31-28. That means they got points. Now you got a real good tight end. You should be able to do something. That means your defense is the problem. For the Wait a minute, I was using the wrong thing.
From the 34-yard line,
I am absolutely wrong on that assessment. Completely wrong. I'll call it after this play.
Levis sets up to throw here.
It's a fumble.
Here he lost the football.
And that's what you want if you're the Rams. The Rams, meanwhile, they didn't get any points. They were shut out by the Colts 24-0. George Kittle. I made a prediction that the Rams should win this game. I don't know now. They didn't score any points. And I think that's the only shutout we've had.
Midfield strike, they'll look to throw. He wants it
It's going deep. The ball is up. No penalty.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play he was sacked.
And it's going to be 4th down and 20. And the Rams stop him.
Find an open receiver.
So on 4th down, Ryan Rico on the punt.
Well, this is what we're going to have with the Bengals this season. They don't have Burrow. They don't have Chase.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by a longtime starter in the NFL, a former #1 overall pick way back in 2009. It's Matthew Stafford.
And Matthew Stafford was taken first overall in the 2009 draft, and he certainly played like a top pick. Throughout his career, he's been one of the most prolific passers in the league.
But he has thrown a bunch of interceptions in his career.
Anytime soon. Not only that, he's also one of the tougher quarterbacks in the league.
Especially with the offensive line he had when he was in Detroit.
First run now for Kyron Williams.
As you can see, George Kittle big self up to there barking. What? George Kittle big blocking all by himself. Big body. George Kittle. If you're that Stafford, you got to hit him.
From the gun, here's Stafford. The first catch of the game.
And there it is.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45.
And there it is, the first catch. George Kittle.
13, first down Rams. The first drive here and the first time that we've called the big tight end's name, but I can assure you this, Charles, it won't be the last.
No, it won't, because when he gets going, now it opens up opportunities on the perimeter because that'll draw the defense towards him in the middle of the field. Now your wide receivers are getting...
He hits him again.
The result, only 4 yards there.
Rams trying to score their first initial points in the career of the Rams in my league.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it.
This looked like it's going to be a run play action. I mean, a running play or a play action. It's a running play. Oh, it's a play action. I was right.
Every series, they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
The thing that the Bengals going to have to do is worry about their offense. Will they score any points? Play action. Nice catch. First down at about 26.
They'll cross over out of bounds right at the 25. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17. Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
He didn't do this last season when he had a decent tight end, but they wanted a better one. And he doesn't get too much better than this. Other than maybe Travis Kelce. Running play.
Now a first down kick against Williams. And he is
Even I knew that was going to be a running play.
behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense. Starting with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Now it's Stafford.
Stafford. Got a guy.
The tight end Kittle.
Kittle.
On the left side. And
Already,
he's got another
he is
first
reaping the
down. This
dividends
is
of
gonna be
George
at the
Kittle.
Bengals' 13-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And
Rams looking very good offensively.
the ball in this game, one of their top
Just better not turn the ball over.
Top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him, and I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc. Yards to go on 2nd down from the 7.
Will Levis in over his head, perhaps?
Back to throw, Stafford. Quick pass to Cup. It'll go as a gain of
Rams
4.
still haven't scored a touchdown.
Third down and less than a yard.
I think he just wanted to give the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make
Are the Rams the only team who haven't scored a touchdown?
And after the catch,
I'll check that
he's been able to do
shortly.
that.
Third down. 2 down territory for me if they don't get it on third.
Throwing again is Stafford.
Okay, it's 1 down. They're going to have to go for the field goal. Sacked.
Trey Hendrickson showing off his pass rush repertoire that time.
Shows up how teams are so competitively matched.
Well, right there, it's really the reason why the Rams didn't score any points last year.
That's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down.
That was something I was supposed to do. The end of the first quarter.
On EA Sports.
The Cardinals have that last home game, home spot. And they're going to take on, I don't know, could be the Chargers or Tampa Bay or Las Vegas.
And the first play will be a field goal try.
Here's the first points in the Rams' career here. Now I know what I was looking for. And they finally got it.
Rams have the first points here. It's 3-0. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right?
The Rams is the only team who have not scored a touchdown.
You really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field
That's
goal
not good.
and prepare for the rest of the game.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Let's see what the Bengals can do because they don't have Burrow and they don't have Chase. How are they going to score? But then again, the Rams gave up 24 points last season, so maybe there's points to be had here.
Second drive. This one a little slow to get cooking. Just a 3-0 scoreline as they begin with a 1st and 10. They defer to Brown to start the drive, and he is going to be stopped cold behind.
Are they scared of Will Levis throwing the ball? Is that the reason why they're running? I don't know. I think they are a passing team with Burrow and Chase, but they don't have them here, so they have to do a conservative game plan. And if they lose, they got to probably go get a quarterback. Nice play. Nice throw. Nice catch. First down, Bengals.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do in that one as a receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
He's got too much time back there. There seems to be no pressure.
They'll go for a gain of 7, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. Working from the gun, here's Levis.
Levis looking good now.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
He was actually looking good earlier, but then all of a sudden, they just stopped. He got sacked.
The defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Here's Levis. This will be caught by Brown.
As you can see, most teams were trying to use their throwback uniforms in the first round.
That'll bring up 2nd down.
I know it was a game.
The next game will be
Probably a little bit of disappointment there
They're going to use their color rush uniforms, if they have any.
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield, you're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it.
This is what happens. They go close to the first downs. I mean the red zone, and then all of a sudden they start making mistakes. 3rd and 7.
Trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down.
And the same thing happened here. He threw the ball away. Will Levis, you're not going for it, right? He wants to go for it.
So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts.
If they win the game 3-0, the Rams are, I don't know what their problem is. I don't expect the Rams to hold this Bengal team, even though they don't have Burrow and Chase, to 0 points. So
they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
I wouldn't be happy if I went for a field goal, not unless it's to win the game.
But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Will he run the ball out there or hit the tight end? He runs. Oh, play action. Good play action. This could be intercepted. No. Looked like it was 3 DBs back there.
Out of the gun, Stafford. Going up top for Cup.
Oh, what a catch! All the way to the 25. Cooper Cup. And they finally get a big play. First down for the Rams.
A big play there for LA.
Let's see. He was getting a little bit of pressure, but he held and stayed in that pocket. And Cup just grabbed it and got the first down. What a play. Now they're trying to get their first touchdown ever in their careers here. Maybe you can run the ball and hit the Kittle in the middle. This Kittle in the middle.
So the completion good for 7 there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch.
Bengals, I told you it was going to be rough for them without Chase and Burrow. They're going to have to rebuild through the draft. They can only do it one at a time, one player at a time.
To throw is Stafford. Pass complete there to Nakua.
They trying to get him down, and they finally get him.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up.
NFL draft tomorrow. Let's hope that your team get who they want.
3-0 our score.
Skull Nation.
3rd and 5.
Rams got to get a first down so they can get their first touchdown.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford.
Weird play there. He got hit, throws the ball out of bounds. And now they got to go for another field goal.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble.
It was so close to being a fumble.
And his kick here is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
We shall see. We've had some blowouts lately.
The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Bengals offense returns to the field. They are still in search of their first points in the ball game, but only down 6-0 as they begin with a first down.
Levis got no time on that one.
And that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now a 2nd and 10. Levis to throw it. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let
Well, it doesn't look like Levis is going to have a starting job that long unless he changes.
The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the gun, a give to Brown.
And they're going to punt the ball again. This is a shame.
Only get this to the 30.
Well, you don't have your stars that you used to have. This happens. You lose your stars. It's going to be you got to rebuild them. Rebuild the team and just replace them.
Here's Ryan Rico now.
Nobody stepped up.
He's on to punt for Cincinnati.
I think the Titans,
He's been a busy man here in this
if they
first
lose,
half as he gets away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here.
well, when you lose, you get draft picks. Some teams get 2 if you're the bottom 4 teams. Right now, the Rams need to get their first touchdown and put this game kind of like on ice. Kinda.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Now their 2 drives thus far, both led to points.
Will they hit Kittle in the middle? No, but they hit Kittle on the side.
As they say, but it's not what they're about. What they're about is putting the ball in the end zone and putting 6s on the board. So if you're the offensive coordinator, you like what you're doing, but you don't love it. You've got to find a way to ring that bell. Then you can have a little self-satisfied grin. Right now, a little more determination is needed.
Minute and 10 left.
Stafford. Throw left side, complete to Cup. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
But the game hasn't been exciting lately. No compelling games. So I'm going to take a little bit of a break from speaking.
Incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Chicks love the deep ball.
2nd and 10.
This used to be a White Sox thing.
Again, it's Stafford. He'll get this into the hands of the rookie from Texas.
Rams continue to move the ball, but they seem to just can't put it in an end zone for their first initial touchdown. If you get 1 touchdown, you can start getting a lot more.
You have to be a little careful. You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone.
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme.
Right now, if you're the Rams, take this play. You got, 1 timeout left. Go in the end zone, hit Kittle or Robinson and get your touchdown. You got to do it at some point. Now is the time. Now is the time. 24 takes left. Kick. Kittle in the middle. No? Is he in?
I
see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
Looks like the Rams' red zone offense is something a little bit to be desired. They got to hit a receiver in the end zone. Or at least get the first down. He's going end zone. He's got Kittle. Has he got it? No, he's short. Oh boy, it's going to be tough. They're going to go for the field goal.
Instead of a 3rd and 1 run, they go pass and they get 12 yards.
I thought they had a timeout. Why aren't they using it?
4 seconds left in this first half. A timeout call.
I just don't understand the dumbness of this AI, of the coaching. You should go for the. You had enough time to call another play, or at least call a timeout. But they didn't take that chance, and they still will be looking for their first field goal. Make that their first touchdown.
Field goal unit onto the field. And his kick is good. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
There won't be a 99-yard drive, Charles, because they will just try to run the clock out. That was a smart play there, but they should have went for it the play before.
This likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half.
Ain't that a penalty?
They'll bring the football out
to the 35? So if that's the point, why, if it goes in the end zone, why don't they just put the ball at the 40? Make them run it out.
The one final shot before the half. Here's Levis.
Why is he throwing the ball deep? The half is over. The half is just beginning. I should say 9-0. Rams.
9 points separating these two teams. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side could play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Rams going to get the football first here, and they look to build on their lead as the second half gets started. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Rams offense and Matthew Stafford set to take over once again. And he had it going in the first half, that's for sure. He's really had his way with his secondary. They've been powerless to stop him, and he'll look to keep it rolling right here. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Well, this play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Stafford connects with Kittle underneath, and they're able to get this one across the 35. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that is incomplete.
This has certainly been a physical game so far. Limited scoring opportunities for both sides. And there's another chance that goes unfulfilled.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Stafford. Going to be taken in here by Nakua. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half. Stafford now to throw. The tight end Kittle has it on the left side. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Here now, 2nd and 4. In motion goes the tight end. Stafford looks to throw again. The same target, same result. It's Kittle. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 29-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Taking a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at the 37-yard line. Logan Wilson, the one who got in there and dropped him to the ground. Remember, they had the nice gain in the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that one too wide and incomplete.
Gotta give credit to both defenses because they've been able to keep the points down. And despite that incompletion, I like the way he's playing. He's putting up decent numbers. What he has to do, find a way to make that sound read and hit that one home run before this one's over.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of the story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Now Levis. Open man is Higgins. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field.
Still no touchdown for the Bengals. Make that for the Bengals or the Rams. The Rams have not scored one ever. They are still without a touchdown. The Bengals will, if they lose this game, they're going to get a new quarterback. Because they have won a game before. But they had a wide receiver and a quarterback back then. They were pretty good players.
Positions in football now. The tight ends who can block at the line of scrimmage at the point of attack, and they can also get downfield and catch the football.
Levis looking to throw.
Bengals, first down at about the 14.
Getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That'll go as a pickup of 32.
Will Levis is trying his best to get her done.
Because he was wide open. And once he made the catch, plenty of room to work his way downfield. That was a breakdown on the defensive side of the ball, one that they want to fix immediately.
Well,
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Here's Levis.
it looked like he telegraphed that one.
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. Not what they had in mind there. That's going to go as a loss of 4. It looked like the defense, they were ready for that one.
Really left him almost no room to work after catching the ball. He could throw every move in the book at him. They were there, and they tackle him for a loss.
Levis back to throw.
A nice pickup out of tight end. Get about to the 5, maybe to the 4.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly.
I mean, this game is getting kind of interesting now because if they get a touchdown, they're only down by about 5 points.
Being run against them.
Back to throw.
And Levis is in there. Touchdown, Bengals. And the Rams are going all field goal. And they only lead by 5 points. Right now it's still 6, but this would be an insult.
But now they have their first points of the game, and they come here in this third quarter.
And more often than not, Brandon, when that happens, you find yourself down 21, 28 points, and not really with a lot of hope, but with that touchdown, they're right back in this game.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good, and that will get them one closer. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it ends with a Bengals score.
This is fresh.
After the touchdown, McPherson.
That's the first time I heard their fight song. Kind of interesting.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
12-7 game. Rams need at least a field goal, which will make it an 8-point game. Rams should have been. They need a touchdown. They get a touchdown, they won the game pretty much.
The momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Fourth quarter.
Now in Cincinnati. It's the Rams out in front here. They've got control of the football as well as we get set for the fourth.
Run the ball. Don't need to pass it. Keep the clock moving.
Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring up the key third down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key third down.
Kittle was a huge pickup and first down.
And he is going to have a Rams first down.
That's for this cup.
Able to get the third down conversion.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Now it's Stafford. Complete to the tight end, Kittle.
Kittle. Again.
He'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 12 more yards there and another first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Off of play action. Here's Stafford.
Another big play at the 20.
This one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one goes for 24 yards.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what they're.
They got to score a touchdown.
Showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. Throwing again at Stafford. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
Well, that was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll fake it. Now Stafford.
And they finally got a touchdown, the Rams. That should do it. And the Nakua gets it in there, and the Rams' initial touchdown. It's a beautiful throw, beautiful catch, touchdown, and they're probably going to win the game now.
Win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Point after, right down the middle. And it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. Well, that last touchdown we just saw, what an important one. Now it's back to a 2-score deficit for this crew as they take the field here, and they are in desperate need of finding the end zone. Levis to throw it. Now a short one to Gesicki. Only able to gain a couple there, and that will bring up second down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Clock ticks.
Levis from the gun. Caught right side by Reed. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for second down.
Nothing fancy on first down. But
Getting close to the 2-minute warning.
Hit that slant.
The Bengals have forgot to throw the ball down the field. 2-score game.
If that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Levis sets up to throw here. He finds his man, complete. It's Reed. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
And Levis going back to the air. He finds his man, complete. That's Reed. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Here's second down and 3. Levis. He finds his man, complete. That's Reed. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with an even 90 seconds remaining on the clock. Here's 1st and goal. Levis to throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield of man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays just like that one.
This is definitely a 4-down territory.
On 2nd and goal. Levis, he'll look to throw it. He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. Escaping the... And this is caught.
Touchdown.
It's a touchdown, but multiple
Bengals.
flags down.
Uh-oh.
So let's sort this out.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
Down in this one, they needed that score, but they'll have to hold at least for the time being.
You're exactly right. Points that they had to have. As you said, they have to regroup now and see if they can get them another way.
Here's a big one. It's 4th and goal. Desperation time now. Here's Levis. And this is intercepted. And
that should do it. Intercepted. And the Rams are going on to the next round for the first time.
This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Now the LA offense ready for this next possession. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. We've got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on first down. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds left to play. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
This last minute just seems to take forever. Victory formation.
As they take the knee.
Ten and counting. We do have to snap it, I believe.
So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational. So the LA Rams with a victory here, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
And the final score is the Rams 19 and the Bengals 7. So long, everybody.
And dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Cincinnati.